Claire, from Harlow to the Edinburgh Festival, you looking forward to it?
I am indeed. A bit scared. I just want to get away. It's like a holiday. I haven't had a holiday in about 7 years. So it's just like, get me away.
How did you first get into stand-up?
I started off with acting and then presenting, and I recorded my own comedy sketches because I had a fear of doing it actually, and it was like I was always loved cameras because I was like a child model like when I was about 8 on the cover of a magazine, and it was like if there's a camera there I'd just be like, yeah, you know, like this is just a little bit of a nightmare really whenever there's a camera. So I bought my own camera, a little camcorder second-hand off eBay when I was a civil servant on my really exciting wage, and I just started filming different sketches in my house, in my parents' house that I'm living in the garden, everywhere, like just writing them. And in 2009 my friends were like, oh, you're on ITV4, and I was like, well, it's not ITV1 but it's ITV4. And it was me doing impressions of, I did there's loads of competitions and forgot that I did, of Madonna and, you know, the old cliche ones that everyone does. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I thought, oh, you know, the presenting, I'm still doing that, and I've been doing that for years now because I just love it and I love chatting, as you can see. And then I thought, right, I'm going to have to do this. I researched all my heroes, like, you know, Alan Carr, Russell Brand, Joe Brand, Caroline Ahern, what we was talking about earlier, Catherine Tate, Dawn French. And I thought, right, what have they done? How did they get there? And it all said stand up. And Paul Whitehouse, actually, I wrote to him because I just think he's brilliant and hilarious. And I was like, where do I go next? I've recorded like over 300 comedy sketches. How do I, you know, get in there? He went Edinburgh Festival. First one was like, well, I've got about 12 to 20 characters. Who do I choose? I was like, get the Wag. The Wag is like, it's so Essex in it, right? And I dressed up as her, and my first gig was at the Bedford in Balham last year in 2012. And I walked in and I was so scared because on the Hall of Fame there was like Julian Barrett, Noel Fielding, the Mighty Boosh, who I love, Catherine Tate, John Mann, who's like my local comedy legend, you know, of Harlow, and all these people. And I was like, oh no, it's my first ever gig. I'm not good enough to do this. And it was a women's comedy competition. And there was about 12 of us, and it was brilliant to watch all the other ones as well. And I went up there and I just done it, and I come off, and Viv Grossop, who's been on Have I Got News For You, she's doing an Edinburgh show, she went to me, is that the first time you've done that? And I was like, yeah. She went, honestly, it didn't show, and she was so nice to me. Do Brighton Fringe, because it was easy. And my brother had a flat there, and he's always on tour, he's a musician. She's like, yeah, you can live in my flat. And he's probably thinking, I wish I hadn't said that because she's OCD. But it's lovely because the venue was just down the bottom, and that was a week in Brighton Fringe. And this one night, you know, I'd only had one person in the room one night, then 7, then another 1. But you still perform because you're doing what you love, you know, and you're giving out to the world and lifting the vibration, you know, through laughter. And if you can make one person happy, you've done your job. But this one night, like, I filled the room with like 50 people, and there are some like old friends who live in Brighton, and they turned up, and it was lovely to see them. And even my 2 really good friends from Harlow drove down to see me. How lovely is that? And this one guy, he's from Chortle, and I thought, I know him. I've like, seen him around, but he felt sort of, he had that energy, like that kind of famous sort of, just this energy. And then the next day, I had a review from the local Argus, I think it's called, 5 stars. I was like, yes. And then his was like, no stars. And
so you got to Edinburgh next month. After Edinburgh, any plans?
Get a job. Get a normal job, go back to the office. I'm not going to teach yoga again, that went years ago because of the recession. Yeah, obviously, I've like entered loads of competitions, like, you know, BBC, and I'm always on the lookout. Nothing gets past my eyes. I'm just like, right, there, that, go. Oh, they'll probably say no, but at least I've done it, because I know that I tried my best. Because because when you die, you've just got to go, I tried my best. It doesn't, because I'm a one-woman show, and I've got 5 characters. Because Chortle said, right, she's come on as one character, and she's shown her sketches. Because I just thought, I've made all these sketches, the world's going to see them. Some people were like, oh my God, you know, them, like, that really just happened. So what I did is I sat back and I observed everybody's reaction, and I was like, that's working, that's not working, I won't be showing that one, yes. And that's what I did, like with Brighton for the acid test. And I did take heed of what some of the reviewers said, and just general people. I said, you know, what do you think I should do? And I'm open to suggestions. And they went, bring some of your characters to life. I was like, right, so I'm going on as Cindy, and I've calculated everything to the last second. Because I'm like, right, I've got to, you know, do the thing at the end and like talk to people, and then the next act's got to come on. I don't want to delay anyone because I've been delayed in the past. That cuts your show short. You've all got to kind of play by the rules. So I was like, right, I'll go on as Cindy. She can talk forever. She's an Essex girl. Then I've got an MP. She's coming on, and she's probably hated, but it's hilarious, and she's got a crush on Boris Johnson, and there's that kind of like political side. I do have a bit of a political side, but I've made a joke of it, because I think the House of Commons needs that. The Monster Raven Looney Party, well, he died, didn't he? Old Lord Such. So they need something mad as well, again, to lift that energy in there. Then I have got a super heroine with a disorder. She thinks that she's Wonder Woman, but she's not. She's actually a woman. I probably can't say it on here. It's women's humour. She's just really angry about everything, and I think most women can relate to that at some point.